All right, let us get started. Before we completely jump into yoga, I do want to mention because the this came up with another student. We're coming towards the first of the month, so there is a chance that you are going to have your rebill or your payment for the Sunday Sweat Club happen again soon. Typically, it'll happen on the day that you subscribed. However, if you decide you're like, you know what, this isn't working for me, or I want to take a break, or anything along those lines, you can just let me know. Send me an email. I will not be offended. Sorry, I'm going to let someone in. I will not be offended at all. I'm the type of person to travel a lot, so I often find that sometimes I need to pause my subscription while I'm traveling and then maybe come back. So just send me an email if you're like, no, I need a break, or maybe you start going to live classes. And if you have any questions at all, this is a new payment system for me. So there's a few like little surprises. I think I've got it all sorted now, but if you see anything come up, by all means, please let me know and I will help you with that. Okay. Other than that, on to the fun stuff. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. We are here again, ready to sweat. I'm proud of those of you who showed up live this week because there aren't as many of us, which means the rest of you are probably having a super Sunday fun day doing something different. So I hope you enjoy this class in the future. I am very excited because over the next couple weeks, we are going to dive in a bit more to yoga philosophy and explore the koshas. So if you are not familiar with the koshas, that's fine. I'm going to explain it. We'll dip our toe in, make it easy and accessible and understandable. So essentially, the koshas are the layers of existence through which we experience the world. I'm going to say that one more time because it's a lot. They are the layers of existence through which we experience the world. So there are 5 koshas. Today, on our first day of this little series, we're going to do the first 2, which are in my head the easiest, simplest, fun part of the koshas to understand. Okay, so the first kosha is the Annamaya kosha, which is essentially your body, right? This is your body through which you experience the world, the physical body. You can touch it, you can see it, you can move it, you know how it feels. We focus on this in a lot of our yoga classes, and we will today, but hopefully bring a bit more awareness to it. The second kosha is the Pranamaya kosha, which is the energetic body. You might notice the word prana in that name, like pranayama. So, breath is another way that we can change our energy, right? So, we also change our energy through the shows we watch, the food we eat, the people we surround ourselves by. All of these things are altered by, or all these things change our energetic body. So, today, put simply, we're going to focus on our physical body and our energetic body, and then we'll dive in a bit more in the following weeks and learn more. So for today, you can start reclined down on your back. Come all the way down to the ground, and let's begin in Shavasana. So your variation of Shavasana, either feet really wide, maybe feet together. If you find that your low back is sensitive, you can put your knees together, feet wide, and your feet on the ground. Just pick somewhere that you feel you can fully surrender. Get out any last wiggles, and then close your eyes. Moving into this physical body, perhaps for the first time today, or maybe you've already noticed it as it has had aches or pains. Maybe your body felt really good. So just begin by focusing on the points where your body connects with your mat. Little points of pressure. With you, or as you exhale, can you feel these points get heavier, become more connected? And then once you feel grounded, stable, and heavy, start to perform a full body scan, starting at the crown of your head, moving into all the tiny muscles in your face and your jaw. And before we go any lower, pause. Remember, this isn't the mind, just the body. So, how is just this section of your body feeling today? Is there any tension? Next, bring your awareness to your shoulders, your biceps, all the way down to your fingers. What does this part of your body feel like? Approach it with curiosity. Bring your awareness to your chest, your abdomen. Maybe you just ate and you're feeling full, or maybe you haven't eaten yet, so you're feeling a little hungry. All these are physical sensations, right, that we're experiencing the world through. Then bring your awareness to your low back, a common area where people are very aware of their body, then your hips, your pelvic, pubic area. Especially for women, it can be nice to pause here, checking in, and then move down to the thighs, knees, calves, and eventually your toes and ankles. Maybe your lower limbs are feeling strong. If you went for a run or went to the gym recently, they could also be feeling fatigued. This is our physical body, right? Our meat suit, as a lot of people like to call it. The vehicle through which we explore life. Now that you've been made aware of that physical body, let's move to the breath so we can start to become aware of ourselves energetically. Take an inhale. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Close your mouth and just breathe gently. How does your energy feel today? And this isn't just, am I tired or am I energetic? You might be feeling inspired or maybe a little down in the dumps. And if this isn't something that's easy for you to grasp right away, don't worry. Just try to see how you genuinely feel in this body, in this moment. And it's my hope that you'll notice an energetic change by the time we finish class. Take a breath in and a breath out, mouth closed. If Ujjayi breath is in your practice, you can start to constrict the back of your throat, creating that wave-like sound of breath. This is a first opportunity, right, to really start to change that energy building fire through this breath. If Ujjayi breath isn't in your practice, I'd like to encourage you to just take long, big, expansive breaths. Inhales will take your breath all the way down to your abdomen, maybe even your pelvis. And exhales, diaphragm will pull up and in. Another breath in. And another breath out. Begin to reawaken your body with small movements coming out of your Shavasana, but holding on to this flow of breath. As your movements get larger and larger, you will eventually bring your right foot to the mat by your glute and your left foot to the mat, like we're going into bridge pose prep. We're not yet. Just kind of a bit of a recovery pose from our Shavasana. You might want to lift the hips up slightly and then press the low back down to the mat. Palms should be by your sides. Press all 10 fingers into the ground, then roll your shoulders back. Press down into the back of your head. Inhale. Exhale. Option to open your eyes very slowly or keep them closed. It's totally up to you. As you inhale, draw your right knee in towards your chest, no hands. So right knee will hug up as tight as you can get it. Either flex or point the foot. Then extend the left leg long and just hold and breathe. Bring your awareness to the point in your lower body that feels like it has to work the most in this pose. I don't know what that is. It might be different for everyone. Could be only on one side, right? Because our legs are in two different shapes. Flex through the left foot just as much as you're flexing or pointing through the right. Inhale. Exhale, belly comes in, pull the diaphragm up and in, squeeze through the abdomen and the core, and then switch the legs out. Left leg will be, or left knee will be into the chest, right leg long. Hug that left knee in, extend, extend through the right. Curl the toes back on both feet or point on both feet, up to you. And then give this a little effort, so much so that you can bring your awareness to the point in this side of the pose that you feel like is really working. It might be the left leg if it's harder for you to draw the knee into the chest, or it could be the right if it feels like a lot in the hip flexor to extend the leg long. We're all different. So this is your opportunity for personal inquiry. Take one more breath in. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Engage through the core, and then draw the right knee up into the chest to meet the left. Knees come in towards the chest. Remember, we're still doing no hands, and then inhale, lift the shoulders up, reach the hands forward. Low back should round down to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, keep the knees up, lower the head and shoulders down. Inhale, lift up. Reach the fingertips all the way towards whatever's in front of you. Maybe it's a wall. And then tug the knees into the chest a bit more. Are your feet still alive for 3? Who knew it would be so hard to hold into a little ball for 2? And 1, release the head down, hands down by your sides, feet down onto the ground. Breath in. Breath out. Next, inhale, lift the hips up, squeeze the glutes, press the palms down into the ground, and then maybe you kind of shimmy the triceps under. If you feel like you want to go for a clasp with the hands right away, you can. I'm not warmed up enough for that yet, so I'm not going to. I will just focus on pushing all 10 fingers into the mat and see how that can encourage me to lift and hold. Squeeze through the glutes, 3. Where's that flow of breath for 2? And a 1, release the hips down, draw the knees into the chest, inhale, lift the shoulders up, fingertips forward. Yeah, you get it now. So we're gonna kind of move just with this little baby mini flow. The more you pull the knees in and try to lift the shoulders, the more challenging it will be, right? So see where your body's at today. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, hands and feet down, head down. Inhale, lift the hips high. Bridge pose. Exhale, lower the hips down, draw the knees into the chest, lift the hands forward. Inhale, drop the feet, shoulders back, one movement, lift the hips high. Bridge pose. Exhale, lower the hips down, knees into the chest, shoulders up, fingers forward. Last time, feet come down, hands down. Inhale, lift as the head lowers. Exhale, lower the hips down, knees come into the chest, reach the fingertips. Option one, stay here and just rock and roll. It's hard with no hands. Option two will be to grab behind the thighs and start to rock and roll yourself up, 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 up to a seat. Just a breath here in a seat. Roll your shoulders back. Try and shine your heart up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, plant your hands down to the ground, spin all the way around and come to tabletop pose. So you're probably going to be facing the back of the mat on tabletop. So look, if you can, try to spin around so you're facing backwards. I know, weird. It's all right. It's okay to be backwards. All 10 fingers into the mat. Inhale, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, look high, hold here. Now, focus on your spine. Maybe close your eyes. What part of your back likes to bend the most? You might notice that there's a point that you feel like, oh yeah, my deepest part of the bend is probably the low abdomen, right? Totally fine with a low spine. Just be aware of it. And then inhale back to neutral. Neutral. Exhale here. Drop your belly. Roll your shoulders back. Look high as you inhale. Find that point in the spine and then exhale back to neutral. A little bit different. Inhale, drop the belly, shoulders back, look high. This time, exhale, round through the spine, cat pose, tuck the tailbone. Full cat-cow, inhale, drop the belly, shoulders back, look up. Exhale, round cat pose. Maybe you pause a bit to enjoy it, wiggle side to side if need be. Inhale, back to center, neutral. Extend your right leg back, toe on the ground to start. Then lift the toe up, bend into the knee. So we've got about a 90-degree bend in this back leg. You'll notice my low back, like I automatically started to go into a back bend. Try to counteract that first. So try to keep your spine nice and even as you lift the heel towards the sky. So this is kind of a lot to begin with. So you can stay here or now drop the belly, roll the shoulders back, look high, and we've got this kind of, what is it, cow dancer half. Try to press the foot into the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. Awareness of the spine. Bring it long once more, nice and long. Exhale, release. Perfect. Breath in. And out. Another breath in. Extend the left foot back. So toe starts on the ground. Remember even spine. And if you're like, I'm having trouble keeping my spine even, it's the engagement through the core, right? So engage through the core first, then lift the foot up. After the foot is lifted, try to be like, okay, I'm not going to let my low back bend as I bend into the left knee, foot up towards the ceiling. Now try to lift the foot as high as you can with your back straight. Option to hold here and not move to the back bend yet, or you can drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, look high, and try to lift the foot as high as you can towards the ceiling. Press into all 10 fingers. Press into the top of your right foot, down into the mat, right, for added stability. Hold 3, 2, 1. Release, both knees together. Walk the hands forward, curl the toes under, up and back, downward facing dog, facing the back of the mat. Breath in. And out. I realize if most of you had your cameras facing the front of the mat, you might be looking at it through your legs, but that's okay. One more breath in. And out. If you are moving, come to stillness. First down dog of the day. Physically, how does it feel? Are there areas of your body that are fatigued? This is kind of a full body check-in that I do every down dog, especially the first one, to see how my arms feel, right? This is the first time that we're putting quite a bit of weight on the arms. So how do your arms and shoulders feel? Sink your heels down towards the mat. Maybe take a tiny bend and then work towards straightening again. How do the hamstrings feel? One more breath in. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Tiptoe your way to the back of the mat and fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Take it again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, half lift. Exhale, take a bend in your knees and come to the ground until you can plant your hands onto the ground. So you might have a big bend. All I want is for you to be able to have this. If you have blocks, you can lift up and come onto the blocks and lift high, or maybe you can reach the ground. Either way, you'll start to bend into both knees slightly and then extend the right foot back. You might stay here, or you might work to just reach the right foot back and hold in kind of a halfway lift. I don't even know what we're going to call this. It's just a nice prep pose. So draw the left hip back in space, lift the foot a little higher. All 10 fingers, right? If you're having trouble getting all the fingers in the ground, then bend deeper in the knee. I don't care how high you are, and if you're bent, you're actually going to be working this glute a little bit more. 3, 2, and 1. Both feet come together. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, bend into the knee as much as you need to, shift your weight over into your right foot, and then extend your left foot back. So option to keep the toe in the ground or to come with the lift and start to extend the leg up and back. If you are doing the leg extending, try to pull back in the right hip. So really feel that shift, and it's going to even your hips out as you pull back into the right hip. Then once you do that, you can work to lift the foot a little bit higher. 3, 2, 1. Both feet together and fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, bring your arms wide out to the side and come to standing. Hands go high, look high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Uttanasana. Oh no, not Uttanasana. Tadasana. There we go. Now you're facing the back of the mat. We'll move just through some breath because this practice so far has been slow, right? We've been using the breath a little, but I want you to feel the difference between slowness and how we can then cleanse and move the energy with the breath. So inhale, sweep your hands high, look high, press the palms. Exhale, fold forward, and we're going to speed up the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit back, chair pose, and come all the way to standing. Press your palms above your head, look high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, bend in your knees, step your right foot back and come down to your back knee. Inhale, hands up. Sink down and into that front leg. And then exhale, maybe you walk or maybe you just sweep the hands back, come to half splits. Draw the left hip back, press the left foot into the ground. Flat back if you can, for 2 breaths. One more in. And out. Inhale, walk the hands forward. Anjaneyasana, lift up. Exhale, plant the hands, curl the back toe under, step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, lower the back knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, hands up. Exhale, sweep the hands back, walk them back, maybe or sweep, and then come to your half splits. Press the foot into the ground. Draw the right hip back. 3, 2, almost there. 1, and then inhale, come forward. Anjaneyasana, lift up. Exhale, plant the hands, curl the back toe under, step forward, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose, lower all the way down, 3, 2, 1. This time, inhale, baby cobra or up dog. We're going with a traditional flow today, totally up to you. Exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under, press up to plank or tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Notice the body. Notice the breath. Another breath in. And out. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, tiptoe your way top of the mat and fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, chair pose. Exhale, hands by your sides, Tadasana. We're going to keep moving. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Look up, press the palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, lower the back knee down. Inhale up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sweep the hands back, straighten the front leg. Inhale, come forward, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step forward, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, lower the back knee down. Inhale up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sweep the hands back, press into the right heel, bring the right hip back. Inhale, lift back up, Anjaneyasana. Feeling this rhythm of breath. Exhale, sweep your hands down, curl the back toe under, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Lower down, 3, 2, 1. Either up dog or baby cobra, up to you. If you're an up dog, press into the tops of your feet. Your thighs are off the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, curl the toes under, press up, plank or tabletop. And then exhale, back downward facing dog. Option to come to child's pose here. If you're in downward dog, close your eyes and feel the breath as you reach your heels down towards the ground. Maybe your body's a little warmer. Maybe you can see that you can sink your heels more. And this is the perfect time to check in. What does moving the breath do for you energetically? What does moving a little quicker do for you physically? Maybe you find that you prefer a little bit slower. Or maybe you like this warm rhythm. There's no wrong answers. All about listening to your body and your energy. Let's all meet in down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale your right leg high, toes point down. Remember, draw the left hip back in space. Reach the foot up, 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 and back as much as you can. Exhale, bring the right knee to the right tricep. Option to skip these and just keep the leg high. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, sweep it through. Come to your low lunge. Inhale on up, crescent pose. Sit deep into your crescent, sink the back heel down. And then can you pull your feet together? So you might notice as I pull, I start to lift, right? So my feet are pulling together. I lift up slightly, keep the engagement, and then recalibrate. Breath in. Breath out. One more breath in. And sweep the hands down. Frame the foot, press into the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high, right into it. You got this. Exhale, you'll take the left knee to the left tricep. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Come to your low lunge. Inhale up. Crescent pose. Recalibrate. Draw the left hip back in space. Bend, bend, bend into that front knee. Now pull the feet together and see how just whoop. We've been here before. I've cued this for you a million times. You should be feeling it in that right hip flexor as you start to pull left hip back, right hip forward. Hold and breathe for 3, for 2, and 1. Sweep the hands down. Press into the palms and then try to lift the foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale up, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, lower. Curl the toes under, press up, tabletop or plank. Exhale back, downward facing dog. So we've got this rhythm, right? This rhythm, this movement as we breathe. One more breath in. And out. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, tiptoe top of the mat and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend in the knees, bend, 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 bend. And now we'll come back to that pose we did a little bit earlier in class. And I'd like you to explore, how does it feel differently after this flow that we did, right? Reach the right foot back, toe can be on the ground, or you'll start to lift. Leg is either straight or bent, completely up to you. What I care about is the hands are on the ground, right? Yes. Draw the left hip back in space and try to reach the foot a little bit higher. Now, option, remember, 1, 2, or bend into this back knee, flex the foot and try to reach the foot towards the ceiling for the ultimate stretch into that left leg as you work towards strengthening that left leg and straightening as much as you can. I know, it's a lot. But if you press into the hands more, you might find you can lift the foot more. If you make weird faces, that's fine because nobody can see. Try to straighten the left leg a little bit more, hold and breathe. Glue the fingers to the ground for 3. Yes, for 2, keep the neck nice and loosey-goosey. For 1, and release. Both feet together, fold forward, Uttanasana. That was half. So inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands down, bend in the knees, step the left foot back. So we start here, option 1. Option 2, lift, work towards straightening through the right leg as much as you can. You can either stay or find the bend, flex the foot, and try to lift the foot towards the ceiling. Loosen the neck. Once again, press all 10 fingers into the ground. So whatever you got to do in this leg to get there, that's completely fine. Try to reach the heel to the sky. Straighten the right leg more. Reach through the left heel. Relax the jaw. And then last but not least, are you breathing, right? We've got to find our breath here. So breathe for 3. For 2, reach it a little higher. And 1, release both feet together, fold forward, enjoy it. Maybe you do a flutter of the lips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Sit your butt back, chair pose, lift up. Inhale, hands by your side, Siddhasana, close your eyes. Maybe bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the low belly. What does your physical body feel like? What does your energetic body feel like? We have the power to shape our energy. And we also have the power to shape how our physical body feels. Breath in. Exhale, hands by your sides. Release. Big toes touch, slivers space between the heels. Inhale, sweep your hands high. Look high, press your palms together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend into the left knee, big bend, step the right foot back and spin the back heel down. So your back heel is not up, it's down, it's at a 45-degree angle. Then walk your hands out to the side. We essentially have, I've heard this called a million things. I'm gonna call it a down dog lunge. That's what we'll call it. So down dog lunge, again, hands are down into the ground, right? You're pressing your shoulders away. Press into the outer edge of the back heel and then widen your left knee out to the side because it might want to like fall in by your armpit. This time we want it away from the armpit. Push it out as far as you can. Take a breath in. Exhale. Imagine down dog in the arms. Inhale, look forward. Walk, walk, walk your hands around to the other side of the mat. Yes, we're going there. We did it. And then come to down dog lunge in the other side. So spin the back heel down, 45-degree angle, and you'll do it on the opposite side, right? So your right knee is in towards your armpits. Press the hand into the ground and recalibrate. We did this pose on one side. Now we're doing it on the other really, really fast. So what feels different? Press into the outer edge of the back foot. Press the big toe, the heel forward in your right foot. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, look up. Walk the hands back towards you. And then we'll just move through some Skandasana variations. So you might be going bloop, 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 and just doing this down dog lunge side to side. This is option 1. Just flow with this. Look, nobody can see you, so you can be weird, like a little spider, whatever you want to be. If this is accessible to you, you can start to sink the hips down, maybe bring the foot up. If it feels really good, you can go no hands and just move side to side. Whatever feels best in your practice, you will know. However, be mindful about the transition one side to the other. For example, I feel I pulled a muscle in my glute a couple days ago and I can feel it. So I'm going to come up and I'm just going to do hands side to side and then be aware of that tension in my body. Be aware of my physical body. Take one more on each side. And then you'll come all the way to the front of the mat. Turn yourself around. So essentially your right knee is in towards your right shoulder. And then step all the way forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Recalibrate in your feet. Bring your big toes to touch and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back. Exhale, come to standing Tadasana, hands by your sides. Shift your weight over into your right foot, so you start to feel that shift automatically. Hands start by your sides in this Tadasana pose, fingertips are alive. Left foot comes out behind you. Take a bend into your left knee and either point or flex the foot. Try to bring the foot with the strength of your body as close as you can to your glute. Now, bring your left hand to your low belly, right hand towards your heart. Notice if you start to stick out your low belly. See how I'm sticking and this is a back bend? I want no back bend to start. So try to glue your knees together. Lift the foot up higher, higher, higher. Squeeze your hamstring. Might be like, mine like wants to cramp, and if it does, it's okay because cramping just means we're moving into a new range of motion. It's a good thing. So hold and squeeze, lift, lift, lift for 3. For 2, I promise there's a reason we're doing this. For 1. And release. Left foot to the ground. Maybe you have a little bit of a hamstring cramp. That's okay if you do. I do. I'm going to just shake it up. Okay. Shift the weight over into the left leg. Right foot comes back and then squeeze the foot towards the butt. Now remember, you'll notice like it's really hard for me to do. So this is an area where I need to work on. It's hard for me to bring my knees together, right? Your knees are glued together without bending into the low back and dumping. So pull the core in, feel that biofeedback of the hand on the belly, and then squeeze the knee up as high as you can get it, either pointing or flexing. For me, I get more cramps when I point, so we're gonna point because that's what's good for us, right? Hold and squeeze, you got this. 3, 2, 1, release. Both feet together, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep your hands high, look high, press the palms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose, lower down. 5, slow, yes, you got it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, we all lower down together because I like to add in an additional push-up. Inhale, press up, plank or tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale your right leg high. Pull the left hip back in space, even hips. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose and then try to bring your weight far, 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 far forward as far as you can get and step the foot through. Come to your low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, reach the hands back. So you've got these hands out behind you and imagine you've got a beach ball. There's a beach ball back here. I want you to try to keep them up as high as you can. Now take a breath in. This time we're going for the back bend. Exhale, roll the shoulders back, look high, sink down in the legs. Pull the core up and in. So we've got this reach coming from the upper spine as much as the lower spine. And instead of dumping into the low back, you're kind of imagining this big, beautiful C, right, with your spine. Maybe you gaze high, maybe you fall out and come back in for 3, for 2, 1. Inhale, sweep the hands high, crescent pose, take the bend out of your back as much as you can. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Press into the palms, lift the heel up and back, downward facing dog. Option to chaturanga here or just stay in down dog. So those of you who want to do a chaturanga, you can move forward, lower all the way down. Remember, after your cobra or up dog, I would like you to do a push-up. And then we'll all meet back in down dog. Those of us in down dog, sink the heels down, bend into the knees briefly, and then sink the heels more. We should all be in down dog by now. So inhale, left leg high. Draw the right hip back. And then exhale, left knee to left tricep. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Touch, touch, touch. Imagine touching, then rock forward as far as you can rock and step the foot through. Come to your low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose. Okay, so side 2. Exhale, sweep the hands back. Giant volleyball, beach volleyball, right? The big squishy ones that are pretty colors. Okay, so reach the fingertips back, roll the shoulders back. Then inhale, start the bend first from the shoulders and the upper spine as you lean back, straighten through the right leg. Then sink down as you lift the arms higher and gaze high. Yes, I know, crazy back bend, right? Can you get the pinkies closer to the ceiling? Pull your core up and in to support you. 3, you've got this. For 2, Sirius thinks I'm talking to her apparently. And for 1, inhale, sink down. Reach the hands high, regular crescent pose, pull the left hip back in space. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. You did it. That was awesome. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra, completely up to you. Exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under, press yourself up, plank or tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, tip, toe, or hop and fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to chair pose, sit your butt back just briefly. And then exhale, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Big toes touch. Close your eyes. Can you feel an energetic shift? Can you feel sweat or your muscles being warmer? What changes are happening in your energetic and your physical body? Blink your eyes back open. Get reacquainted with the space. Shift your weight over into your right foot. So just like we did before, you'll start to bend into this left knee and get the foot as close as you can to your butt. But this time, reach your heart forward and come to kind of a warrior three variation with the knee up in the air. So first, hands are back, chest is like as flat as we can get it towards the ground. Ooh, I'm gonna fall. Hands as chest as flat as we can get it towards the ground. Then try to lift the foot up towards the sky without bending into the back first, just like we did on the ground. You got this. You got this. Now, with the hands back, you can start to lift the chest, lift the foot, coming to a dancer variation, but with no hands. So, how far back can you reach your fingertips? How high can you reach your left foot? Gaze forward, heart shines forward, hold and breathe in whatever variation you're doing for 3. Lift the foot higher, straight through the right leg for 2. And 1. Come out the same way you came in. So inhale, come to standing, keep the foot high. And then exhale, release, left foot next to the right. Whew. So much easier when I'm teaching this in class and making people do it than trying to do it. Guys, this is pretty hard. Breath in. Whew. And out. All right, shift the weight into the left foot. You know where we're going mentally, right? So start thinking about where you're going. Draw the right heel up towards the butt, either point or flex, up to you. So first, as straight as we can get our spine, imaginary in our minds. It's not going to be that straight, but we'll try as we tick-tock forward, hands back to our warrior three variation with the toes towards the sky or the heels toward the sky, whatever you've chosen. Draw the left hip back in space to recalibrate through the hip so the hip isn't opening. Try and pull through the core, and then inhale, lift the foot to the sky. Start to come into this back bend as you roll the shoulders back, gaze forward. Straighten through the left leg, lift the heel a little higher. Core supporting you here. Lots of times when we're in back bends, we think of like, oh, I'm back bending, so I should just be bending in my back. No, our back is supporting us here. It's working, but your core is too. So can you lift the shoulders higher, straighten through the leg more, reach the heel or toe higher for 3, hands and pinkies to the sky for 2, and 1. Come back to center, knees together, and then exhale, release. Right foot next to left. Shake it out. Just take a moment, move side to side, and then come to your Tadasana. Actually, on that note, let's do an open mouth exhale together. So inhale, fill up. Open mouth exhale, let it go. I think we need one more. What do you think? Inhale. Open mouth exhale. One more breath in. Close the mouth and a gentle exhale out. Breath in and out. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, sweep your hands high, press your palms together, look up. Exhale, fold forward all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, lower down, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, lower down, and everyone, whether or not you did the chaturanga, meet me on the ground. So come all the way down to your belly. Lay down, place your forehead on the mat. Hands can come in front of you to start. Wiggle your hips side to side. Then inhale, lift your chest up and come to Sphinx pose. So elbows on the ground, a little less than a 90-degree bend in Sphinx, or a little less. Then pull the palms towards you, right? So you feel this upper back. If you take a look at my upper back, look closely. Instead of here, we're having here, right? It's so subtle, but the bend now, instead of coming from down here only, comes from the whole spine. Great. Option 1, stay here in Sphinx. Option 2, bend through both knees and try to point the toes and just squeeze the knees together. Hold and breathe. Pull the palms toward you for 3, for 2, 1. Release the legs down, head down, hands come back. Setting up for bow pose. Inhale, lift your chest up. Hands should be back, right? So we're starting by pulling into the hands, rolling the shoulders back, then bend into both knees. Option to stay here and work on this lift. Option to reach the hands back. I really prefer to try and do all of this without grabbing my legs, because what I find is I learn which part of my body I'm actually moving through strength and not through passive range, right? So you can stay here and strengthen and lift, or you can bend into the knees one by one, kick the hands into the feet and start to lift up into your full bow pose. Rock your weight forward on your belly so you can get your thighs up, and then head and neck. Come back, hug the knees together though. So if your knees are wide out to the side, we want to bring them in and then press up. Breathe for 3. Back bends can do a lot of things. They can make you feel a certain way for 2. So whatever is coming up energetically, try to imagine yourself releasing it out of your crown of your head for 1, and release. Knees down, feet down, hands forward, relax. Forehead to the mat, maybe a cheek to the back of your hands, just to truly rest. And then just notice, did anything come up in that back bend? Maybe physical sensations? Maybe energetic? One more breath in. And exhale. I'm going to give 2 options before we move. We're pretty much cooling down, guys. This is it. You were there. You did it. So 2 different options. If you really love this bow pose, you can grab for the feet and start to move into it again. Option 1. Option 2, flip over onto your back. I'm imagining a lot of you flipping right now. Come onto your back and just do another variation of a little back bend, maybe just bridge pose. Lift the hips high, or if full wheel is in your practice and you want to flip the hands down, lift to the crown of your head and then all the way up into the full wheel. Remember, if you're doing full wheel, crown of the head first and then lift. So I don't want to say pick your poison because it's the opposite. Pick your medicine today. For your last back bend, before we move really into some slow, deep breaths. And that is a good reminder. Whatever you're doing, are you breathing? Back bends constrict our ability to breathe. They can make us feel panicky. So hold for 3, whatever you've chosen. For 2, and then 1. Everybody down. Those of you who were on your stomachs, take your time. No rush. I know that was a lot. Flip over eventually. And then we'll just meet us on our backs. We'll all move through a nice little side bend. But before we do that, or side twist, before we do that, I'd like to try to release some of this tension that might have built up in the lower back from the back bend. So lift your feet up off the ground, press your palms into the top of your thighs, then lift your shoulders up off the mat and press your knees into your hands into your knees, and try to stamp the low back down onto the mat. So we're counteracting this deep back bend that we had with strength, right? Engage as you press. Press, press, press. You should be shaking if you're pressing enough. 3, 2, round through that lumbar. 1, and release. Head down, hands down. Windshield wiper your legs side to side. Back to center. Draw your right knee into your chest. Left leg long. This time, yes, you can use your hands. And then take an easy twist over to the left side. Reach your arms out to a T, maybe even goalpost arms. Reminder that all I care about is both shoulders touching on the ground. As you twist, inhale, feel your spine lengthen. Exhale, try to wring and release through that low back. Again, feel the spine grow long as you reach through the left big toe all the way to the crown of the head. And exhale, twist. Engage through your core. Draw your right knee back into your chest through center, and then switch it out. So right leg long, left knee in, and twist over to the right side. Take the same arm option that you did on the other side, whatever that might be. Goalpost, arms to a T. Connect both shoulders down to the mat. And then inhale, feel your spine grow long through the big toe, through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist. Release the lumbar spine. Inhale, lengthen. Spine grows long. Exhale, twist and release. Inhale, engage, and then come to center. Both knees in towards the chest. Maybe give them a squeeze by wrapping your hands around your knees. A few different options to finish class. If there's anything else you would like in your practice, by all means take it. This is our chance, right? You're in your body. You've been feeling your body. What does your body need? It should be speaking clearly to you. And if it's not, don't worry. There's plenty of time for that. But if it is, what can you do? Shavasana? Great. Maybe you want to move through happy baby. Tune in. You have about a minute and a half. And I will cue you if you're doing two-sided actions when we're about at the midpoint. So our Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha, physical body and breath body. These are two of the main reasons, or the energetic body, two of the main reasons that people keep coming back to yoga, right? I think we can all say we feel this shift in the physical body. We feel stronger. We sleep better, right? We eat better. This energetic subtle shift, I think, is one of those things that people don't necessarily recognize. If you're on one side, please move to the other. But they feel it. You might not know how to put a word to it, but you can tell when you leave class and you feel like you're on fire. So as we move towards Shavasana, whether or not you are there yet, I invite you to check in now with the energetic body and just see how you feel. The power of breath and the power of movement, I think it can be so understated. In reality, this practice can shape our entire day, our entire life. If you haven't already, move into Shavasana. Let your toes fall out. Take a breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. And fully surrender into your Shavasana. Inhale. Exhale. Gently reawaken your body with subtle movements in the best way that you know how. And eventually make these movements grow larger until you roll over onto your favorite side using one arm as a pillow in fetal pose. Take a moment to find gratitude for yourself for showing up today, for engaging in this personal inquiry, for moving and breathing. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seat facing the sound of my voice. Once you're there, sit nice and tall. Tuck your chin slightly so the back of the neck opens, and bring either 2 hands to heart center or maybe 2 hands over the heart, pressing the palms into the chest. Breath in. Gentle exhale out. A reminder that you can always check in with your physical body and your energetic body throughout the day. And you can use it as a tool to guide yourself, but also to care for yourself. This knowledge is there if you look. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you all for joining me this morning. Namaste. Great work, everyone. As always, if you have any questions, you can send me an email or message on social media, and I am happy to help. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.